Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have I don't even know what to call this, makeup I travel with video. I told y'all recently that I would be doing one of these, just basically showing you the types of products that I like to travel with, the type of makeup I like to take with me, both for space purposes, for different look purposes. And so without any other intro, because that's all I can think of, then we're gonna go ahead and show you what's in my makeup travel bag, especially since I just got back from vacation. It is actually still freshly packed. I have not unpacked everything yet, so this is the perfect time to do this. Okay, so first off, I'll just show you the bag real quick. This is typically the bag that I travel with when it comes to makeup products. This is a Kate Spade travel makeup bag. I purchased it at the outlets a long time ago. I can't even remember how much it was. It was on Uber clearance, but I do like it because I'll show you once I open it. It's got a couple of different sections, and it's just really, it's smushy, and so it doesn't, you know, crack or break if it gets kind of a ton of stuff is on top of it. And I typically, if I'm flying, I typically put this in my carry-on backpack, only because we all know that makeup can be expensive, and I'm not about to sacrifice or risk losing my bag of makeup in a checked bag. So I typically like to go the safe route and take it with me in my carry-on. So this bad boy is awesome because you open it up, and I think you can find these types of bags at Sephora too. You've got a couple of zippers, and this is usually where I'll keep like tweezers or things, bobby pins, things for my hair. And then you see how it's divided up into two sections. Let me open it up a little bit better. So it's got a little divider. And so what I like to do is put all my makeup stuff in here, a little bit of skincare, and then my brushes are in this bag right here. So this is typically my entire makeup for travel, no matter how long we're going for. So let's start off with brushes, because that's kind of the most boring part. And like I said, I usually put my brushes in this little case right here. It almost looks like a pencil case. I don't think I'm going to go through each and every brush with you. I'm just going to kind of tell you overall how I pack my brushes. Now, what I do is I always pack a night or two before, typically the night before, because you know you're using your makeup until pretty much you leave. And so I always pack it about the night before, and then what I do is the day of us leaving, I use the makeup in this bag to ensure I haven't forgotten anything, because it's easy to forget something. You're doing your makeup, you know, you're packing, and you're like just totally forgetting things. You've got a million things on your mind. And so if you actually use the stuff in your travel bag the day that you leave, if you forgot something, that's when you're gonna know that you forgot something, and you can throw it in your bag still in time. So just to kind of give you an idea, I always take a spoolie for my eyebrows. I take a couple of paddle eyeshadow brushes. I take my brow highlighting brush. I take a couple of different blending brushes, one because I like to go in with my first layer, and two, if I want to deepen up the crease with a different color, I can use a different brush. Let's see, I always take a brush that is for the setting powder under my eyes, and then when I set the concealer or primer that is on my lids. I take obviously an eyeliner brush. I've told y'all before, I really can't do a wing liner any other way than gel liner and a slanted brush. Let's see, typically I'll take a pencil brush just in case I want to do a little bit more, you know, detailed work. A lower lash line brush as well. I always take a little detail brush for the inner corner for when I need to kind of, if I do a cut crease, something along those lines. Let's see, let me throw these in here because I'm starting to not be able to hold all of these anymore. I always use this brush for my cream. You know I layer my cream highlight, so I take this brush to apply my cream highlight. Let's see what else. My Anastasia A23 highlighter brush, I can't live without it, so that always comes with me. Let's see, a blush brush. And what else do we have? That's pretty much it. The rest in my hand is a couple other blending brushes and a MAC paddle or eyeshadow brush. So that's really all it is for brushes. I do take a beauty sponge because, as you know, that's really now how I apply my foundation. So can't live without a beauty sponge. This particular one is the Morphe Contour Sponge, which I have been loving. And so that's pretty much it in my little pencil bag there. So the next two things are actually going to be my travel, I guess, skincare products. So you know I am tried and true for the Supergoop sunscreen. Now, whenever Sephora has 100 Point Perks at a really good size, like a deluxe size, I tend to take advantage of that because it makes for perfect travel products. So the Super Goop is something I would use at home, and I have the big bottle at home. This is my last little bottle that I am using for travel. I am almost out actually. And so what I do is this is the perfect size to throw in my makeup bag, and this is, you always should be taking sunscreen wherever you go. And then for my nighttime routine, I do have, this is again a deluxe size product. This is the Belief Moisturizing Eye Balm, which I love. I'll probably purchase the full size once I am in need of eye cream, but that is my nighttime eye cream. And then I take the Josie Maran Whipped Argan Oil Body Butter, which you know I have loved for years, and this is a deluxe size as well, but I think this came free in like during the holidays when I purchased the big size, and this is just the unscented. It's perfect for travel, and this will last a really long time because there's a lot of product in there. So I usually throw those things in here. The other thing I throw in my bag is I can't live without a lip product for nighttime and morning time. Most recently, I've been using the Laneige lip sleeping mask. This thing is like 20 bucks and it comes with so much product. I've been using it for a good while and I don't even think I'm halfway done. But this, in addition to my Clarins, as you know, my Clarins Lip Comfort Oil, which I love. I haven't opened my new one yet. I had to throw out my last one because it was pretty much, there was nothing left in there. But I typically use that for morning and then this for nighttime. And that pretty much takes care of skincare, I think. Now we can go into the regular makeup. Okay, let's go into, okay, I'm trying to think. I don't typically, whatever the size of my foundation that I'm loving at the moment, that's what I'll take. I don't care about size. So obviously, you know, I love, my number one is the Huda Beauty foundation. That is what I last traveled with. It's not ideal because it's a little more bulky, takes up some more room, but it's something that I really wanted to take with me, so that's that. Nothing super special there. For concealer, I just travel with whatever concealer I'm feeling at the time. This one was the Too Faced Born This Way. It's also because I'm starting to run low and starting to try and finish it out, and so that's why I took that one with me most recently. As far as MAC Fix Plus, you can buy the little travel sizes. The last time I purchased travel sizes was a 3-set during the holidays, and they're perfect because you can spray down your beauty blender, you can spray your eyeshadow brush, you can spray down your makeup after you know, to set your makeup, or even before when you're still prepping your skin. So these are the perfect sizes. It's also 1 ounce, so you're well within the 3 travel ounces to be able to carry it on board if you need to. Okay, regarding not eyeshadow primer, face primer. I tend to like to travel with something that's not gonna break, like a glass bottle. So for example, the Fenty primer, I love that, but I don't, you know, I'm not looking to travel with a big glass bottle. I also love the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched and the Tatcha Silk Canvas, but those were a little bit bulkier than I wanted to travel with lately or recently. And so for what seems to work best for me is the something with like a little plastic slim bottle. In this case, the Dr. Brandt Pores No More Pore Refiner Primer, and I love how this makes my makeup look. And so it's just perfect because I love the product, and I also love how compact it is, how easy it is to just throw in my bag and go. There's also several other options when it comes to this. I know the Too Faced Peach Perfect Primer also comes in kind of one of these little squishy bottles as well. Let's move on to highlight, I guess. So you know I love to layer my highlight, so I always travel with cream highlight. I also travel with powder highlight. So the most travel-friendly for me is actually one of the Fenty Beauty Match Sticks. So this particular one is in the shade Starstruck. Now don't get me wrong, I love her, so I have Confetti. The only thing is that that one isn't always conducive to all the looks you're gonna do on a trip. And you wanna take something that's gonna be the most versatile, the most usable for the duration of your vacation. And that rhymed, I didn't intend it to, but the Fenty Beauty Matchstick is really for me, the best option. I can also do the ColourPop, I forget what they're called, but the ColourPop highlighters. I love that one as well, but and the one I have is Flexitarian, which is a little bit more of a whiter kind of shade, so it provides more of a stark base. But Starstruck is also really, really nice. And it just provides a really great, almost kind of neutral base for whatever highlight that I'm using. So hopefully you can see that there. And again, it's very travel friendly, very compact, and I do like that very much, which is why I take it with me. Now let's just kind of stick with highlighter. Now this last trip I did take a couple of different ones. Typically your best option for a highlighter when you travel is something in a palette, because if you take a palette that has 3 or 4 different shades, then you can change up your highlight. You're not committed to just one, or you're not having to pack several singles. So in this case, I had taken the Cover FX, what is this called? Gold Bar Highlighting Palette. I like this because it has 3 different shades of highlight. You have like a white, a gold, and a rose gold. All of these 3 complement my skin tone very, very nicely. And so I have basically a variety of different highlighters that I can use during the course of my vacation or of my trip. So, and they all pair very well with this cream base. I also wanted to take one of my Fenty Beauty Kilowatt duos. I ended up taking Mean Money and Hustla Baby. This also is a great option, especially, so you have 2 highlighters here. This is really great and compact. What I like about this is that you've got a more subtle highlight, and you've also got the more intensified highlight. And so you can mix them, you can go subtle, you can go extreme, whatever it is you want to do. So this is also a really great option. In this case, I wanted to take both because I love all things highlight. So I also took this with me. I don't know how good of an idea this was. So whenever you travel, a lot of times when you're in flight, it will dry out your stuff. So if I take my, if I'm not wearing my contacts and I take them in their little case, by the time I get to my destination, the case is bone dry. You've just got the 2 contacts sitting in there because it almost like evaporates the liquid that's in there. So I ended up taking this with me. I don't know how good of an idea that was, but I love these Makeup Forever Starlit liquids. This is in the shade number 3, and if I am looking for a super metallic, sparkly highlight, this is what I use over top of my powder. So a 3rd layer, because I use cream, remember, then I go in with powder, and then I go in with this if I want something super sparkly. This is really not a necessity to travel with. It's just one of those things where if you're wanting, based on where you're going, what you're going to be doing, if you want extra sparkle, extra metallic to your highlight, then something like this would work. So that's what that one looks like there. What I like is that the bottle is very, very tiny, so super travel friendly. The only thing is, like I said, I can't tell how much dried up, if any. I think some did, I don't know. Anyways, liquid, things of liquid formula aren't the greatest thing, but sometimes you just have to. As far as eyeliner goes, just because I'm pulling out of my bag in no particular order, I take a brown and a black eyeliner. These are pencil eyeliners, and so, you know, I line my waterline quite frequently, and a lot of times using a black just doesn't suit the look. I think I told y'all in one of my recent videos, I need to go get me a brown liner. So I did prior to our trip, and I took both black and brown, which ended up working perfectly because I always had something to use based on the look I was doing. So with that, I also take gel liner with me. It's what I use to line just my regular lash line. If I'm going to do a wing, you know, I use gel liner, and I use a slanted brush. I really think, so I've been using this Inglot gel liner and I love it, but I think I'm starting to miss my Tarte clay. I don't even remember. It's the one in a little squeezy tube, has a little cup at the top. That one was so easy to use. Anyways, I love this one too. It's just that I think I'm missing the other one, but I do travel with a, excuse me, gel liner for my upper lash line and my wings. When it comes to, let me shake this up because I think the plane kind of dried out this liquid lipstick. Okay, we'll come to that here in a second. So setting powder. I typically don't travel with, I feel like I've said typically like 20 times in this video already. So I don't travel with setting powder for my whole face. Up until recently, I wasn't really using setting powder on my whole face. I don't even use it every day now, although I really like how it makes my face end up, how it makes it look. But I do have to travel with powder for my under eyes and then setting my lids after using primer. And so the one I have been using is the Stellar, is the Cosmic Face Powder in the shade Haze, which seems kind of random. Well, first off, tying back to what I said at the beginning, so this was a deluxe. So if you place Sephora orders, you know you can get beauty offers, which if you order like $25 or $35 worth of merchandise, you can pick like a freebie, which is the perfect way to try out different things without actually buying them. You can see if you like them. This was one of those things. So I have been trying to put this one to use because I'm like, okay, it's tiny, I'm wanting to use it to see if I like it. And I'm gonna say I loved this powder so much. Total side note, this isn't even what this video is about. This stuff it makes your skin so soft and smooth. It's weird. No powder has ever done that for me before. But loved putting this to use, and also, again, using a deluxe size product that you can get for free is a great way not only to try products, but to travel with for sake of space. So that's what I have been using as my setting powder for under eyes and eyelids. I can't leave home without this. This is my Benefit Brow. It's what I really have been using. I use the pencil. What's the pencil called? I can't remember. Anyways, I do use that one, but I am almost out, and I really love this one more. And so I took this one with me. It's what I will take with me traveling from here on out. It's perfect because it has the little brush. You don't have to travel with a separate little brush. It's just perfect. So I do travel with that. Any kind of mascara, I mean, not much you can say about mascara. It's just, you know, it's not like it's super overbearing as far as space. Mascara is mascara. It's going to be a little tube. And then let's go into blushes. So again, in keeping with the highlight theme, I always travel with a blush palette because that's what's going to give you more bang for your buck. It's going to give you the most versatility, the most options, and sometimes I travel with this one. This is the Becca Blushed with Light Blush Trio palette. I always pick a palette, which most blush palettes are going to have an array of like nudes, rosy shades, and then brighter shades, which this shade has, kind of like a let's see, a rosy mauve, a nude shade, and then a bright kind of coral shade. So another option, just to let you know, a couple of different options actually. So Tarte makes a lot of blush palettes, and I love Tarte blushes. To me, as far as blush palettes, that's the way to go because their formula is really great, it's long lasting, and it's all in a one-stop shop. So Tarte blush palettes usually have 4 different shades, which make it a great travel companion. For sake of space, you're not packing a bunch of singles. And then another great option, so NARS will a lot of times come out with these types of palettes that have bronzer, highlight, and blush. This particular one didn't have highlight, but it did have bronzer. So if you're looking to kind of make it a one-stop shop as far as all face products, again, this one didn't come with the highlight, but there are so many palettes out now that have the bronzer, the highlight, and the blush. The reason I didn't include the Too Faced Natural Face Palette in this video is because I don't travel with it because it is bulkier. It's more rounded, it's a little bit, it's bigger, it's just a little too bulky to fit in my bag, and I don't usually travel with that one. So my best bets are, you know, small ones like this, especially because likely I'm not going to use bronzer if I'm going on a trip. If I really need bronzer because I just look pasty white, then I'll choose a palette that has it in it. But as far as highlighter goes, I'm going to grab a separate palette for that. So these are usually my best options. That's why most recently I chose this one. Just, I mean, small, sleek, and easy to go. You've got 3 different shades, so depending if you do a smoky eye and you want a nude blush, or if you did a super low-key, you just did winged liner and you need a bright blush, you're going to get that in a palette. Okay, moving on to eyeshadow. So my eyeshadow palettes tend to vary depending on my mood when I pack that day, but I always look for something that's smaller but still has an array of options as far as shades go. Most recently I chose for our trip the Kathleen Lights and ColourPop Dream Street palette. Now this one doesn't have a mirror, but it just does have such an array of colors, and I ended up packing a different palette. This is what I ended up using most of the trip because it had what I needed. It had mattes, it had the more metallic-y foiled, not even foiled, it's just, yeah, more metallic type shades. And it had them in an array of colors. I love that it has this brighter orange, it has the deeper green in case I really want to smoke something up, and it has a good array of metallics because you know me, those are the ones I tend to like the best, but it's just perfect for travel. It's a very light cardboard, it's very slim, it's very easy to pack, it just kind of stands up really nicely in my bag, and I am good to go. Now if I want something else to kind of complement that, I will pack it. So in this case, I just packed this one. I used it like once, I think, because like I said, I used the Kathleen Lights and ColourPop more. But the reason I had packed this was because it had the two greens, and I figure if I want to really add color, I will use this. It got used once, so it just really didn't need to get packed, but that's what I packed in there. So this is what I used for the entire trip as far as eyeshadows. Made it really convenient, really like efficient when it came to space. Now another thing I'm going to tell you, because I have traveled with the Huda Obsessions quite a bit, these are actually ideal for travel. They are really my #1 go-to. I just kind of wanted to do something different this last go around. These are the best because they're super tiny. They're really great for space saving. And then you get the 9 pans of product. It is 9 full-size pans of product. This particular one is the smoky. If you're wanting to go with something a little bit different, I would go with something else as far as the coral or something. This is not going to give you a whole lot of different looks. Well, that's just my opinion, but everybody can do different things with makeup, so this might just be what's right up your alley. What I'm trying to say is just in general, these Huda Obsessions are really, really amazing. The last time we went to Disney World, I traveled with the Mauve Obsessions, and it was just, it was perfect. I couldn't have asked for anything better as far as space, pigmentation, just varying shades and colors, and this for eyes is perfect for travel. And it's like 27 bucks, so it's like right up a traveler's alley. So then let's see. I'm down to lip products. Okay, so let me show you what I traveled with this last time, and this is typically what I travel with as far as colors go. So you always want to be able to pack based on eye looks, but because you're going to probably be doing varying eye looks, you want to pack kind of a shade for each thing. And what I mean by that is same with the blushes, like a nude, maybe a more rosy, and then a vibrant shade, so that when you have the toned down eyes, you can use that vibrant shade, especially if you're going somewhere in the summer. If you're doing like full on smoky eyes, you can go with the nude shade. So what I traveled with this last time was one of the Stila liquid lipsticks in the shade, I don't know if it's Bossy or Bocce. I think that's always been the question, the never-ending question. But I chose that one, and that was more my nude shade. Then I chose Walk This Way. It's a NARS Power Matte Lip Pigment. This is one of my favorites of all time. Let me give you swatches. I'm not giving you swatches here of anything. So this is perfect as far as like a low-key pink type shade, and is perfect for when you're kind of doing like a medium type of eye. Let me give you a swatch of the Stila, and this is more of a gray nude, but it's still the one that I chose. It's got some rosy in it right there. So see how those kind of contrast. And then lastly, I took with me the Fenty, what are these called anyways? The Mademoiselle in the shade Candy Venom. This one is so good because it's matte, but it's rich in pigment, it's not drying, and it lasts a really long time. So you want something that's gonna last for a while when you're on vacation, and you're not gonna wanna be like applying left and right because you're gonna be busy doing stuff, touristy stuff, and that's what that looks like right there. So you see how there's kind of like one from each color scheme? That's typically what I travel with. I try to grab one from each. And then lastly, I do travel with a couple of glosses. This particular one, the Marc Jacobs glosses, a lot of times they'll release these little mini sets and they're perfect for travel. So this particular one is, I don't know what shade it's in because the sticker has since fallen off. But it's very, very, there's really no color payoff to it. It's a very baby pink, but once you put it on, you can't even see that. So it's perfect for putting over top of a liquid lipstick that might be drying, or if you're just wanting to go super natural and just wear gloss instead of lipstick, it's a really great option. The other one I have been using for travel is the MAC Viva Glam Ariana Grande. It's got some sparkle in it, and that's what I like because sometimes I like to put that over top of lipstick. but it's also really perfect for when you just kind of want a, again, super natural look, because it adds that little bit of sparkle to your lips and is perfect. So that's that one right there. So that does it for lips. That does it for everything. That's the makeup I travel with. I change, like I said, I change stuff out here and there. So the lipsticks, the eyeshadows are not the same thing every time. But for the most part, that's what I look for. Something that can be super versatile, that's not going to be super bulky, that's kind of slim, that's kind of a space saver, and something that I will have to last me for the duration of our stay. So I hope you found this helpful. I hope you found it entertaining and enjoyable. Guys, if you're not already subscribed to my channel, I hope you'll consider subscribing. No pressure, but if you enjoyed this video and you'd like to stay tuned to see what else comes your way, then please subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you're notified whenever I do post. Alright guys, before I let you go, I need to give you the verse of the day. Today's comes from Mark 10:45, and it says, "For even the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve, and to give his life as a ransom for many." Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. Take care, stay tuned. I will see you very, very soon. Bye everybody.